Halo Infinite is back with awesome reviews. We have some speculation as to what Xbox is going to be showing off at the Game Awards, and Phil Spencer talks about Bungie. Welcome back to another video, guys. If you enjoy daily Xbox content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So I put out my first Halo Infinite impression / review of the game early 3 a.m. this morning. And I was lucky enough to get my hands on the code for Halo Infinite from Microsoft about a week early before the game came out, and I completed the story, completed the campaign, but I didn't complete the entire world because there's a lot to do in this game. So I didn't give it an official review or official score. Just kind of want to talk about my thoughts about the game. But summing up how I felt about Halo Infinite was that it is one of the greatest Halo games, in my opinion, ever made. It left me with chills, left me with hope, happiness, and excitement for the future of the franchise. And 343 has knocked it out of the park with this release of Halo Infinite. So I was really excited to see what other people had to say about it, what the other reviewers were saying about the game. And it looks like pretty much everybody is in agreement that this is an incredible Halo game, right now sitting at an 87 on Metacritic. Now, these Metacritic scores, I've always said this before, in my opinion, I don't really care too much about the scores. If it's a game I want to play, I'm going to be checking it out and playing, whether it gets a 50, an 80, or a 90, whatever the case may be. But with Halo Infinite, I think it's a bit different because 343 and Halo 5 are coming off a campaign that I'd say unanimously people did not like. They really dropped the ball with the story aspect of the game. The gameplay was fun, but the story just wasn't there. And with Halo Infinite, they have made amends for all of that. You get amazing gameplay, which we knew was going to come, but then you also get a very, very good story that I can't wait for the community, for everybody out there to experience it on December 8th. And I came across this picture here from Souls Ninja, looking at the Xbox Game Studios games and the actual reviews and scores that they are getting. And if you base the success of studios of a platform off of the Metacritic scores, Xbox Game Studios has had one of the best years ever, I would say, for a studio, with just banger after banger after banger of games coming out. It's been an absolutely just incredible 2021. You look at it, started with Deathloop, Flight Simulator, Psychonauts 2, Age of Empires 4, Forza Horizon 5, and Halo Infinite. And look at those scores. Look how well received the industry has taken these Xbox Game Studios game. And I guess you can now officially say Xbox is back in full force with amazing first-party content. And what I love the most about the Xbox Game Studios games compared to, for example, PlayStation first-party studio games, at least some of them, is the emphasis on gameplay and fun factor over the story and cinematics. But with that being said, I mean, yes, there's great story in Halo Infinite. Yes, there are absolutely just beautiful cinematography that is done within Halo, but it is still an addition to an amazing video game at its core, which is fun and just great, tight gameplay. So it's a great time to be on the Xbox ecosystem, on the Xbox platform. There's absolutely no denying that, and it's going to get better and better as we go along. But yeah, December 8th, jump into the Halo Infinite campaign. You will not be disappointed. Okay, moving on here to the Game Awards. We know they're coming up on December 9th, so in 3 days, right around the corner. And for me, the Game Awards is just a show where I get to see new announcements. I don't really care too much about the actual awards themselves, if I'm being completely honest. But I'm excited to see what Xbox is going to be showing off at this show, because they usually have a pretty strong showing. Remember when they announced the Series X? That was absolutely crazy. They showed off Hellblade 2. And it looks like this year they may be showing off Hellblade 2 again, as well as Avowed. And that would make a lot of sense. But this is speculation, according to Jeff Grubb during Games Beat Decide, saying that he thinks that they could be showing off Hellblade 2 and Avowed, and it just really hasn't heard anything contrary to that. And on top of that, there was a miscommunication about E3. So also, according to Grubb, there was some miscommunication between Obsidian and Microsoft around this year's E3, where Xbox told them to show The Outer Worlds 2. And then later Xbox said, why aren't we showing Avowed? So he says that within his podcast. And that's kind of interesting, because when they showed off The Outer Worlds 2 is just that, you know, beginning screen. There was nothing, and they kind of made a joke about how they had nothing to show off about it. It was very weird that they decided to go with The Outer Worlds 2 over showing anything for Avowed. As we know, Avowed is going to be coming out before The Outer Worlds 2. So I would love to see avowed at the Game Awards. It's a game, one of my most anticipated games from Xbox Game Studios, from Obsidian. So it'd be really cool to see what they do there. And overall, I think that there will be a lot of fun, interesting announcements at the Game Awards. Make sure to tune in for that. I will be streaming the Game Awards on December 9th, so we can watch it all together. Phil Spencer had an interview with Axios, and he was talking about the relationship with Xbox and Bungie and the split and all that kind of stuff. As you know, Bungie created Halo, one of the biggest video game franchises in the entire world, and easily the biggest one for Xbox. So that split from Microsoft was a major thing, and they went on to create their own Destiny series, Destiny and Destiny 2, which are mega hits right now within video games. But Phil Spencer talked about how he thinks if Xbox was the way it is today, back then they could have kept Bungie. So he says here, at the time they had big ambitions. They had sold their business for a certain amount of money. They saw what Halo turned into, and it's like, okay, Microsoft benefited more than Bungie did from the success of Halo. There's no other story that can be written there. And that's definitely true, because Halo put Xbox and Microsoft on the map as a console company, as a game that can compete with Sony and Microsoft in the console space. And luckily, especially with the recent release of Halo Infinite, Halo has been handed off to 343, which have done a great job with the series and kept it going as one of the most popular franchises to date. But then he continues on saying here that if you're saying, hey, I think we've got another one of those in me, I want to really take another chance, I can understand the allure of doing that as an independent company. He's referencing here Destiny as another sci-fi shooter, which, I mean, they went out, they created Destiny, and they've done a great job with it. They've grown it. It's a huge game. Then asks if he thinks that Microsoft and Bungie could be together today. And he says, could we do it today? I think we could. And I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You look at Xbox, you look at how they have acquired a company like Bethesda and all of the studios under them, and how big Microsoft is, the amount of money they have, and just their philosophy of having that ecosystem and getting people to play these games across multiple devices. I think pretty much any developer could fit in with that Microsoft ecosystem, and it would thrive with the cloud technology, with the openness of crossplay, the openness of not locking them to a console. When you're comparing it to the other platforms out there, I think a lot of developers, if they had to choose, would choose Microsoft, because it will reach more people than what you're going to get when you put it on just PlayStation as an exclusive or just Nintendo as an exclusive. Now, there's always these rumors popping up that Xbox and Bungie are going to get back together. They're going to make an exclusive game, and it would be really cool to see if they were to do that. Maybe a brand new franchise, maybe they get Bungie to come in to make a spin-off or another entry into the Halo franchise. That would be absolutely nuts if they did something like that. And I say that not because I don't think 343 is great. I say it because, hey, maybe 343 is going to focus on other aspects of Halo. And if they want to push out something faster, like in addition to the story campaign, they may have to outsource to another bigger company like Bungie. That would just be nuts to see. But these are some interesting comments, interesting thoughts here from Phil Spencer just before the release of Halo Infinite. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. How excited are you for the Halo Infinite campaign? What do you think about the Game Awards? What do you want them to show off at the show? And what do you think about Phil Spencer's comments about Bungie and how they could exist right now within the Microsoft and Xbox ecosystem? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you enjoy what you saw throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow, help grow this community, so we can have great conversations in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.